In this video, we will cover the citizenship and fundamental rights topic and its previous year questions. So, in which part of the Constitution of India we find the provisions relating to citizenship? B. Part 2. Provisions relating to citizenship are contained in Part 2 of the Indian Constitution under Articles 5 to 11. Which part of Constitution contains provisions relating to citizenship? C. Part 2. Which articles of Indian Constitution are related to the citizenship? Option C. Articles 5 to 11. The citizenship provided by the Constitution of India is single citizenship. The Constitution of India has established a single citizenship for the whole country. Every citizen has citizenship of India, unlike the USA, where dual citizenship, one of the federation and other of a particular state, is prevalent. Which of one of the following features of citizenship in India is correct? Single option C, single citizenship for whole of India. Indian citizenship cannot be obtained by option D, depositing money in Indian banks. According to Indian Citizenship Act 1955, the citizenship may be acquired on the basis of birth, descent, registration, naturalization, and incorporation of territory. Depositing money in Indian banks is a commercial action, not a basis to acquire citizenship. A citizen of India will lose his or her citizenship if he or she renounces Indian citizenship, voluntarily acquires the citizenship of another country, marries a citizen of another country, criticizes the government. Option 1 and 2 are only correct. The Citizenship Act 1955 prescribes three ways of losing the Indian citizenship, whether acquired under the act or prior to it under the constitution, which is renunciation, termination, and deprivation. With reference to India, consider the following statements. There is only one citizenship and one domicile. A citizen by birth only can become the head of state. A foreigner, once granted the citizenship, cannot be deprived of it under any circumstances. Option 1 is only correct. In India, we have single citizenship. That is, a person can have only one citizenship. Also, at a particular time, a person can have only one domicile. The concept of single citizenship has been adopted in India from the British Constitution of United Kingdom. This statement 1 is correct. Any citizen, citizen by birth or naturalized citizen, can become the head of state, that is the president in India. The Citizenship Act offers other categories of citizenship like citizenship by registration, citizenship by naturalization. If the registration or certificate of naturalization was obtained by means of fraud, false representation, or the concealment of a material fact, or that citizen has shown himself by act or speech to be disloyal or disaffected towards the Constitution of India as established by law, or that citizen has during any war in which India may be engaged, unlawfully traded or communicated with an enemy, or that citizen has been ordinarily resident out of India for a continuous period of 7 years, that person's citizenship can be cancelled. Who among the following is not eligible for registering as overseas citizen of India card holder under the Citizenship Amendment Act 2015? Option C. India who migrated to Pakistan after partition. The central government made a provision for registering as an overseas citizen of India card holder under Section 7A of the Indian Citizenship Act 1955. Eligibility to register as an overseas citizen of Indian card holder is any person of full age and capacity who is a citizen of another country but was a citizen of India at the time of or at any time after commencement of the constitution, or who is a citizen of another country but was eligible to become a citizen of India at the time of the commencement of the constitution, or who is a citizen of another country but belonged to a territory that became part of India after 15th day of August 1947, or who is a child or a grandchild or a great grandchild of such a citizen, or person who is a minor child of a person mentioned in clause A, or a person who is a minor child whose parents are citizens of India, or one of the parents is a citizens of India, or spouse of foreign origin of citizen of India, or spouse of foreign origin of an overseas citizen of India card holder registered under section 7A, and whose marriage has been registered and subsisted for a continuous period of not less than 2 years immediately preceding the presentation of the application under this section, provided that for the eligibility of registration as an overseas citizen of India cardholder, such spouse shall be subjected to prior security clearance by a competent authority of India. Provided further that no person who or either of whose parents or grandparents or great grandparents is or has been a citizen of in Pakistan, Bangladesh, or such other country as the central government may, by notification in the official gazette, specify, shall be eligible for a registration as an overseas citizen of India card holder under this subsection. Thus, Indian who migrated to Pakistan after the partition are not eligible to register as overseas citizens. Consider the following statements. Article 31 to 31I were inserted in the Constitution of India to meet regional demands of Nagaland, Assam, Manipur, Andhra Pradesh, Sikkim, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, and Goa. Constitution of India and USA envisage a dual polity. The Union and the states, but a single citizenship. It is incorrect because USA has dual citizenship. A naturalized citizen of India can never be deprived of its citizenship. It is also wrong. So option D, one only is correct. Article 371A to 371I were inserted in the Constitution of India to meet the regional demands of Nagaland, Assam, Manipur, Andhra Pradesh, Sikkim, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, and Goa. There is a provision for dual citizenship in the United States of America, but the Indian Constitution provides single citizenship. Also, a naturalized citizen may be deprived of his citizenship subject to provisions of Section 10 of Citizenship Act 1955. Which country accepted the policy of dual citizenship? USA. Option D. The United States has accepted the principle of dual citizenship. Every citizen enjoys dual citizenship in the US. Firstly, as a citizen of USA, and secondly, as a citizen of the state where he resides. Who or which of the following is a competent to prescribe conditions for acquisition of citizenship? Option D, Parliament. Article 11 of the Constitution of India declares that Parliament shall have the power to regulate the right of citizenship by making a law. By exercising this power, Parliament enacted the Citizenship Act 1955, which gives provisions for acquisition and termination of citizenship. The central government, by exercising its power under Section 18 of Citizenship Act 1955, made citizenship rules 2009. How many years does a person of Indian origin need to reside in India to become a citizen of India under a Citizenship Act 1955? Option C, 7 years. To acquire citizenship by registration under Section 5 of the Citizenship Act 1955, the person of Indian origin must be ordinarily residing in India for 7 years. Who among the following has the exclusive power of determining the issue of citizenship in India? So, according to Article 11, Parliament can make provisions with respect to acquisition and termination of citizenship. The central government can also make rules by exercising its power under Section 18 of the Citizenship Act 1955, but only Parliament has the exclusive power to determining the issue of citizenship in India. When was the Citizenship Amendment Bill 2019 passed by Parliament? Option B, 11 December 2019. The bill was passed by the Lok Sabha on 9 December 2019. On 11 December 2019, Rajya Sabha passed the contentious Citizenship Amendment Bill 2019. The bill got President's assent on 12 December 2019. The bill amends the Citizenship Act 1955 and for the first time provides citizenship based on religion to non-Muslim communities subject to conditions from Afghanistan, Bangladesh, and Pakistan who entered India on or before December 31, 2014. When was Citizenship Amendment passed? 11 December 2019. What is the purpose of Citizenship Amendment 2019? To grant citizenship to prosecuted minority groups of Afghanistan, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. The Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 seeks to grant citizenship to a class of migrants who are Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jain, Parsis, and Christians from Afghanistan, Bangladesh, and Pakistan eligible for citizenship who entered India before the end of December 2014. So, our next topic is fundamental rights. Which one of the following factors constitutes the best safeguard of liberty in a liberal democracy? Separation of powers, option D. In the liberal approach, which is inherent in democracy, all forms of power are rooted in the will of the people. This approach enhances the rule of law as one of the basic foundations of democracy. It affirms the separation of power as a vehicle for their restraint, and it promotes individuals' right and freedom as a prerequisite for their dignity. A committed judiciary will never go against the government's policies. Centralization of power refers to a setup in which the decision maker making powers are concentrated in few leaders at the top of organizational structure, which may lead to authoritarian tendencies. An elected government is expected to ensure liberty, but it is not the best safeguard to ensure liberty. Therefore, rest 3 cannot be the answer. Which Congress session passed the Resolution of Fundamental Rights in 1931? Karachi. Option B. The Karachi session of Congress was held on March 26 to 31, 1931 and was presided over by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. It was held following the Gandhi-Irwin Pact and in the aftermath of Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev and Rajguru's execution. In this session, the Gandhi-Irwin Pact or Delhi Pact was endorsed and the goal of Purna Swaraj was reiterated. The resolutions on fundamental rights and the National Economic Program were adopted in the Karachi session of Congress in 1931. Which of the following is correct? The Nehru Report 1928 had advocated the inclusion of fundamental rights in the Constitution of India is correct. Who said the following words about fundamental rights? A fundamental right should be looked upon not from the point of view of any particular difficulty of that moment, but as something that you want to make permanent in this constitution. Option B, Jawaharlal Nehru. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru said a fundamental right should be looked upon not from the point of view of any particular difficulty of the moment, but as something that you want to make permanent in the constitution. Who among the following persons said, for the fundamental rights, pledge to our people and a pact with the civilized world? Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. In the words of our philosopher king, Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, the fundamental rights are a pledge to our people and a pact with the civilized world. And as the great jurist Patanjali Sastri, the former Chief Justice of our Supreme Court, said, the whole object of Part 3 of the Constitution is to provide protection for the freedoms and rights mentioned therein against arbitrary invasion by the state. Fundamental rights are justifiable. The fundamental rights are enforceable by the courts but subject to certain restrictions. The rights are called fundamental rights because it is written in constitution, correct? It is democratic, it is public welfare, it is essential for personality development, correct? Parliament cannot make law against it, correct? The fundamental rights are written in the constitution, they are essential for personality development. The parliament cannot make law against them since they are a part of basic structure of the constitution. Fundamental rights can be suspended during emergency. The fundamental rights are natural and non-transferable rights. Fundamental rights can only be suspended during an emergency for which provisions have been given under Article 358 and 359 of the Constitution. Fundamental rights under Article 20 and 21 can never be suspended. Consider the following statements about the fundamental rights in India. They are a guarantee against the state action. They are enumerated in Part 3 of the Constitution. They ensure social, economic, and political justice. They are like Bill of Rights in the USA. Option C is correct. The fundamental rights are guaranteed by the Constitution of India against the state action. These rights have been enumerated in Part 3 of the Constitution. Thus, statement 1 and 2 are correct. The socio-economic justice as visualized by the Indian Constitution is found mostly in the DPSP of Part 4 of Constitution of India and to a little extent in the chapter on fundamental rights and certain other provisions of the Constitution. These rights are like the Bill of Rights. Option C is correct. Under which article of the Constitution fundamental rights have been provided to citizens? Option B, Article 12 to 35. Which article of the Constitution gives precedence to the constitutional provisions over laws made by the Union or state legislature? Article 13. Article 13 of Indian Constitution makes provision that pre-constitutional laws and post-constitutional laws, if inconsistent with the provisions of fundamental rights enumerated in Part 3, shall be void to the extent of such inconsistency. Article 245 is related to the extent of laws made by Parliament and by legislature of the states. Article 326 is related to the election of the Lok Sabha and legislative assemblies of the states to be on the basis of adult suffrage. And Article 32 is for constitutional remedies. The aim of the object of Article 13 of Indian Constitution is to secure the paramountcy of the Constitution regarding the fundamental rights. In the Indian Constitution, the right to equality is granted by 5 articles. They are Article 14 to 18, option C. In the Indian Constitution, the right to equality is granted under 5 articles from Article 14 to 18 as follows. Article 14, equality before law. 15, prohibition of discrimination on the grounds only of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. Article 16, election of opportunity in matters of public employment. 17, abolition of untouchability. 18, abolition of titles. The right to equality is given by Article 14, 15, and 16. Option C is correct. The right to equality has been incorporated in Part 3 of the Indian Constitution under Articles 14 to 18. Article 14 deals with the right to equality. 15 deals with the prohibition of discrimination on grounds only of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. Article 16 deals with equality of opportunity and matters of public employment. Article 17 deals with abolition of untouchability, and Article 18 deals with abolition of titles. Therefore, Article 14, 15, and 16 provide the right to equality. Which one of the following articles in the Indian Constitution puts an absolute limitation on the legislative power? Article 14. Under Article 14 of the Constitution of India, equality before law has been incorporated. Under Article 14, the state shall not deny any person equality before the law or the equal protection of laws within the territory of India. Article 14 puts a limitation on the legislative power. Every person, whether a citizen or a foreigner, has this right under Article 14. Which one of the following articles of the Constitution of India is related to equality before law? Option C, Article 14. In which article of the Constitution equal protection of law is provided? Option C, Article 14. Article 14 says that the state shall not deny to any person equality before law or the equal protection of the laws within the territory of India. It confers rights on all persons, whether citizens or foreigners. The concept of equal protection of the law is taken from American Constitution. It suggests the equality of treatment under equal circumstances, both in the privileges conferred and liabilities imposed by the law. The similar application of the same laws to all persons who are similarly situated, and the likes should be treated alike without any discrimination. A legislation which confers on the executive or administrative authority an unguided and uncontrolled discretionary power in the matter of application of law violates which one of the following articles of the Constitution of India? Option A, Article 14. The court exercises control over the delegation of discretionary powers to the administration by adjudicating upon the constitutionality of the law under which such powers are delegated with reference to the fundamental rights enunciated in Part 3 of Indian Constitution. Therefore, if the law confers vague and wide discretionary power on any administrative authority, it may be declared ultra vires Article 14, Article 19, and other provisions of the Constitution. Article 14 of the Constitution guarantees equality before the law, but the courts have permitted reasonable classification to be made. Where the law is valid under the article, a discriminatory action would still be violative of the equality clause. What is mean by rule of law? Option A, one act for all and one judiciary for all. The rule of law implies that the creation of laws, their enforcement, and the relationship among legal rulers are themselves legally regulated so that no one, including the most highly placed official, is above the law. The law constraint on rulers means the government is subject to existing laws as much as its citizens are. Thus, a closely related nation is the idea of equality before the law, which holds that no legal person shall enjoy privileges that are not extended to all, and that no person shall be immune from legal sanctions. Prohibitions of discrimination on the ground of religion. Article 15 of Constitution of India is a fundamental right classifiable under Article Right to Equality, option D. Prohibition of discrimination on the grounds of only of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth is a fundamental right which is provided in Article 15 of the Indian Constitution under the category of right to equality, Article 14 to 18. Which one of the following fundamental rights was amended as a result of decision of Supreme Court of India in State of Madras versus Champakam Durai Rajan's case? Option B, right against discrimination. The right against discrimination was amended following the Supreme Court's verdict in the case of State of Madras versus Champakam Durai Rajan. In Article 15, Clause 4 was added by the first Constitutional Amendment 1951 for making special provisions for the advancement of socially and educationally backward classes. Under which article of the Constitution, reservation in admission to educational institutions, including private and unaided, to OBCs or SC/ST is made. Article 15, subclause 5. Article 15 is related to the prohibition of discrimination on the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. Clause 5 of this article empowers the state to make such special provisions relating to reservation and admission for scheduled caste or scheduled tribe in educational institutions, which include private educational institutions, whether aided or unaided by the state, other than the minority educational institutions referred to in Clause 1 of Article 30. The 93rd Amendment Act 2005 enabled the provisions of reservation 27% for OBC in government as well as in private educational institutions. The provisions for reservation of OBC is made in the Constitution under which article? Article 15.4 and 16.4, option C. Article 15.4 empowers the state to make special provisions for the advancement of socially and educationally backward classes or for the SCs and STs. Similarly, Article 16, subclause 4 empowers the state to make provisions for reservation and appointment or post in favor of backward classes of citizens. According to which article of Indian Constitution, no citizen shall, on grounds only of religion, race, caste, sex, descent, place of birth, residence, or any of them be ineligible for or discriminated against in respect of any employment of office under the Article 16, subclause 2. Option C is correct. Article 16, subclause 2. No citizen shall, on ground only of religion, race, caste, sex, descent, place of birth, residence, or any of these be ineligible for or discriminated against in respect of any employment or office under the state. Article 15. Prohibition of discrimination on the grounds only of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. Article 17, only abolition of untouchability. Article 16, subclause 4, powers of the state to make provision for reservation and appointments or post in favor of any backward class of citizens. Which of the following articles of Indian Constitution guarantees equality of opportunity to all citizens of India in matters relating to public employment? Option B, Article 16, subclause 1 and 16, subclause 2. Under Article 16, subclause 1 and 16, subclause 2, the equal opportunity for all citizens in matters relating to employment or appointment to any office under the state has been ensured. Which one of the following is not included in the fundamental rights to equality as enshrined in the Indian Constitution? Option D, economic equality. The right to equality does not include economic equality as a fundamental right. Equality before the law under Article 14, social equality under Article 15, and equal opportunity under Article 16 are included under the fundamental rights to equality. The state can treat unequal differently with the objective of creating a level playing field in the social, economic, and political spheres. Among equals, the law should be equal and equally administered. So, option B is correct. The state can treat unequals differently as equal protection of law guaranteed by Article 14 does not mean that all laws must be general in character. There are reasonable classifications varying according to the needs of different classes of persons with the objective of creating a level playing field in social, economic, and political affairs. But among the equals, the law should be equal and equally administered. Article 14 considered the following statements. The Supreme Court of India has held in some judgments that the reservation policies made under Article 16, subclause 4 of Constitution of India would be limited by Article 335 for maintenance of efficiency of administration. Statement 2. Article 335 of Constitution of India defines the term efficiency of administration. Option C is correct. 1 is correct and B options 2 is incorrect. Article 16(4) of the Constitution enables states to make any provision for the reservation of appointments or posts in favor of any backward class of citizens, which, in the opinion of the state, is not adequately represented in the services under the state. However, the Supreme Court of India has consistently referred to the notions of efficiency and merit. While adjudicating the validity of various reservation policies, the court has held in several judgments, such as Indra Sawhney versus Union of India 1993 and M. Nagaraj versus Union of India 2006, that the reservation policies made under Article 16, Clause 4 of the Constitution have to be interpreted in background of Article 335, which provides for maintenance of efficiency of administration while making appointment to services and post in connection with the affairs of the union of a state. Article 335 states that the claims of the members of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes shall be taken into consideration consistently with the maintenance of efficiency of administration in the making of appointments to services and posts in the connection with the affairs of the union or of state. This article has, however, not defined the expression efficiency of administration. Under which amendment act was the reservation and promotion for SC/STs ensured by inserting clause 4A in Article 16? Option C, 77th Amendment Act 1995. Which of the following enabled the Supreme Court of India to deduce a fundamental right to equal pay for equal work? The word socialist used in the preamble to the Constitution. Read with Article 14 of the Constitution or read with Article 16 of the Constitution. So option D is correct. The word socialist in this in the preamble, Article 14, Article 16, and Article 39D, together with preamble, enable the court to reduce the right to equal pay for equal work as a fundamental right. Which of the following articles read with the word socialist used in the preamble of the Indian Constitution enables the Supreme Court to deduce a fundamental right to equal pay for equal work? Article 14 and 16. In a landmark case of Randhir Singh versus Union of India, the Supreme Court held that construing Article 14 and Article 16 in the light of preamble and Article 39D, we are of the view that principle equal pay for equal work is deducible from those articles and may be properly applied to cases of unequal scales of pay based on no classification or irrational classification. Through these drawing the different scales of pay do identical work under the same employer. Under what provision of the Constitution untouchability has been abolished? Article 17, option C. Article 17 abolishes untouchability and declares that its practice in any form is forbidden and that the enforcement of any disability arising out of untouchability shall be an offense and punishable by law. Which article of the Indian Constitution eradicates untouchability and prohibits its practice in any form? Article 17, option B. In which of the following articles of Indian Constitution the abolition of untouchability has been guaranteed? Article 17, option D. Article 17 of Indian Constitution deals with the abolition of untouchability, option C. Which one of the following articles of Constitution abolishes untouchability? Article 17, option B. Article 17 of the Indian Constitution abolished untouchability. Under which article scheduled caste and scheduled tribe have been granted fundamental socio-economic, political and cultural rights? Article 17, option D. Article 17 of Constitution provides abolition of untouchability and its practice in any form is forbidden. It is a statement of principle with the objective to remove humiliation and multifaceted harassment meted out to the Dalits and to ensure their fundamental socio-economic, political, and cultural rights. Which one of the following categories of fundamental rights incorporates protection against untouchability as a form of discrimination? Option D, right to equality. According to Article 17 of the Constitution, untouchability is abolished and its practice in any form is forbidden. The enforcement of any disability arising out of untouchability shall be an offense punishable in accordance with law. Article 17 is classified under the fundamental right to equality in the Indian Constitution. Prohibition and abolishment of untouchability may be achieved by making laws, improving education, public awareness. Option A is correct. Untouchability may be abolished by improving the education system, making laws, and increasing public awareness. But providing jobs, services to people is not a proper solution to abolish untouchability. Parliament, by the Protection of Civil Rights Act 1955, has declared the practice of untouchability a punishable offense. Following are two statements, one is labeled as assertion and other as a reason. Untouchability is a worst form of structural violence. Here, untouchability has been practiced in the name of religious sanctions. Both statements are true, and statement 2 is correct explanation of statement 1. So, structural violence is differentiated from personal violence and refers to preventable harm or damage to persons where no actor is committing the violence or where it is not practical to search for such violence which emerges from the unequal distribution of power and resources, or in other words, is said to be built into the structure. Some of the forms of structural violence are racism, untouchability, etc. Untouchability is an extremely disgusting aspect of the caste system. It constitutes an extremely harsh social punishment against the lowest caste on the scale of purity and impurity from religious and ritualistic point of view. Untouchability also gets religious approval for this reason. Which one of the following articles of Indian Constitution belongs to a different category? Among the given articles, categorization can be done in two ways. First way, Article 19 belongs to a different category as it comes in the category of right to freedom, while the other three belongs to right to equality. Article 19 deals with the protection of certain rights such as freedom of speech and Article 19(1) subclause 1, freedom of speech and expression. B, to assemble peaceably and without arms. C. To form associations or unions or cooperative societies. D. To move freely throughout the territory of India. E. To reside and settle in any part of the territory of India. G. To practice any profession or to carry on any occupation, trade, or business. The second way, Article 14 belongs to a different category and it is available to all persons, citizens, and foreigners both. While the other three articles, 15, 16, and 19, provide rights available only to a citizen and not to an alien. In the Indian Constitution, the right to freedom is granted by four articles, which are Article 19 to 22, Option A. The right to freedom is granted in the Indian Constitution from Articles 19 to 22, where Article 19 deals with the protection of certain rights, including this right to freedom of speech, peaceful assembly, form association or union or cooperative society, move freely throughout the territory, settle and reside, etc. Article 20 deals with protection and respect of conviction for offences. Article 21 deals with the right to life and personal liberty. Article 21A deals with the right to education. Article 22 deals with protection against arrest and detention in certain circumstances. Which of the following freedom is not guaranteed by the Indian Constitution under Article 19? Option B. Freedom to own, acquire, and dispose of property. Article 19, protection of certain rights regarding freedom of speech, etc. Under fundamental rights mentioned in Part 3 of the Constitution provides guarantee of following six freedoms by Clause 1 as the right A. To freedom of speech and expression. 2. B. To assemble peaceably and without arms. C. To form association or union or cooperative societies. D. To move freely throughout the territory of India. E. To reside and settle in any part of the territory of India. G. To practice any profession or to carry on any occupation, trade, or business. It is noteworthy that the freedom to own, acquire, and dispose of a property was included in Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause F under the initial original Constitution. But the 44th Amendment of the Constitution 1978 removed this subclause. Which of the following rights is or are not included in right to freedom under Article 19.1? Right to equal opportunities is not under Article 19.1 while 2, 3, 4 are. According to Article 19.1, among the given statements, the right that fall under Article 19.1 are right to assemble peacefully and without arms, right to practice any profession or to carry on any occupation, trade, or business, freedom of speech and expression. Equality of opportunity in matters of public employment, Article 16, is not included under the right to freedom. It comes under Article 9, under right to equality. In which article the fundamental rights to freedom of speech and expression is provided in the Constitution of India? Option B, Article 19. Which article of Constitution of India is related with the freedom of press? A, Article 19. In the Indian Constitution, freedom of the press is not given directly, but the Supreme Court held that the right to freedom of speech and expression, Articles 19.1a, includes the right to freedom of the press. Which articles of the Constitution ensure the freedom of the press? Option B, Article 19. Indian Constitution does not give the right to freedom of press, but it is included in Article 19.1 subclause A. The Indian Constitution does not explicitly provide the right to freedom of the press, but is included in the Article 19.1a, which provides the right to freedom of speech and expression. Right of newspapers in India, specially provided by Article 19.1a. Freedom of newspaper or press is not directly provided by the Constitution but is included in Article 19.1a as freedom of speech or expression. In the case of Sakal Papers Limited versus Union of India 1961, the Supreme Court stated that the freedom of the press is included in the freedom of speech and expression under Article 19.1a. The Supreme Court has held that hoisting the national flag atop the private building is a fundamental right of every citizen under Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution. According to the Supreme Court of India, hoisting the national flag atop private buildings is a fundamental right of every citizen under Article 19(1) subclause A of the Constitution. Article 14 guarantees equality before law or the equal protection of law. Article 21 deals with the right to life and personal liberty. Article 25 provides for freedom of conscience and free profession, practice, and propagation of religion. As a part of right to freedom, which one of the following does not form part of freedom to assemble peaceably and without arms? Gherav officials not performing their duties, peaceful assembly, people who assemble should not bear arms. State can make a law imposing reasonable restrictions on the exercise of this right. Option A is correct. Article 19(1)(b) provides the freedom to assemble peaceably and without arms, and under Article 19(3), the state can impose reasonable restrictions on it in the interest of public order. By which of the following grounds a citizen's freedom of expression may not be subject to a restriction? Option D, unbecoming criticism. The freedom of speech and expression may be restricted on the grounds of sovereignty and integrity of India, security of the state, friendly relations with the foreign states, public order, decency or morality or contempt of court, defamation or incitement to an offense as enumerated in Article 19. Reasonable restrictions on exercise of freedom of speech and expression under Article 19(2) are justified in the interest of which of the following conditions? Option C. 1 to 4 are correct. Reasonable restrictions on the exercise of freedom of speech and expression under Article 19(2) are justified in the interest of the sovereignty and integrity of India, the security of the state, friendly relations with foreign states, public order, decency or morality, or in relation to contempt of court, defamation, or incitement to an offense. The Constitution of India provides for reasonable restrictions on the fundamental rights, but the reasonableness must keep in mind that one in the interest of general public is safeguarded and prevailing social value and also social needs are not barred. Under Article 19, the freedoms granted speech and expression, forming associations, free movement, etc., may be subjected to reasonable restrictions by the state through law. Article 19, subclause 2 to Article 19(6) provide that such limits may be imposed only for certain specified objectives, such as sovereignty and integrity of India, security of the state, public order, decency or morality, protection of the interest or scheduled tribes and professional technical regulations, etc. Therefore, only statement 1 and 2 align with the constitutional and judicial test of reasonable restrictions. Which article of the Constitution of Indian Republic relates to the protection of life and personal liberty? Option B, Article 21. Article 21 of Indian Constitution is related to the protection of life and personal liberty. Article 19 guarantees the protection of certain rights regarding the freedom of speech, etc. Article 22 is about the protection against arrest and detention in certain cases, and Article 20 is about the protection with respect to conviction for offences. In which article of Indian Constitution doctrine of due process of law is included? Option C. Article 21 says that no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to procedure established by law. Which article of Indian Constitution protects persons' right to travel abroad? Article 21. In the case of Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India in 1978, the Supreme Court held that the right to travel abroad is a fundamental right and is secured by Article 21. Identify the incorrect statement regarding judicial interpretation of Article 21 of Supreme Court's verdict in Maneka Gandhi case 1978. Option 1 is incorrect. Procedure established by law is by and large synonymous with the procedural due process as prevalent in the USA. Correct. Article 21, 19 or 14 are not mutually exclusive. The right to life includes the right to live with dignity. So, the judgment in Maneka Gandhi case 1978 was delivered on 25th January 1978. It was an immensely important judgment which widened the scope of Article 21. A seven judge bench unanimously delivered the judgment. The statement 1 is not related to the judicial interpretation of Article 21 in the judgment of Maneka Gandhi case verdict. Some of the features that are very important are as follows. Article 21 cannot allow an arbitrary or irrational process. Procedure established by law is by and large synonymous with the procedural due process as prevalent in the USA. Article 14, 19, and 21 are not mutually exclusive. The right to life includes the right to live with dignity. The right to travel abroad is guaranteed under Article 21. Other important rights which were brought into the ambit of Article 21 are right to clean water, right to clean air, right to freedom from noise pollution, right to livelihood, right to speedy and fair trial, right to food, right to a clean environment, etc. Which of the following has been recognized as a fundamental right by Supreme Court of India? Right to shelter, right to travel abroad, right to equal option. All statements are correct. Right to shelter, right to travel abroad, and right to equal pay for equal work. In the case of Chameli Singh versus State of UP 1995, the Supreme Court has held that right to livelihood under Article 21 also includes right to shelter. It was further stated that the right to shelter does not mean a mere right to a roof over one's head, but the right to all infrastructure necessary to enable a person to live. The Supreme Court, in the case of Satwant Singh versus Union of India, held that the right to travel abroad is a fundamental right. In a landmark case of Randhir Singh versus Union of India, the Supreme Court held that construing Article 40 and 16 in the light of Preamble and Article 39D were of the view that the principle equal pay for equal work is deducible from those articles and may be properly applied to the cases of unequal scales of pay based on no classification or irrational classification. Though those drawing the different scales of pay no identical work under the same employer. Which one of the following rights is available under Article 19 1D? Read with Article 21. Right to privacy, option C. In the Govind Singh versus State of MP and ANR, another 1975, and Malak Singh and others versus State of Punjab and Haryana and others 1980, the Supreme Court held that the right to privacy is implicit under Article 21. This right is the right to be let alone. In the context of surveillance, it has been held that surveillance, if intrusive and seriously encroaches on the privacy of citizens, can infringe the freedom of movement guaranteed by Articles 19 1D and Article 21. The right to privacy is protected as an intrinsic part of right to life and personal liberty. Which of the following in the Constitution of India correctly and appropriately imply the above statement? Option C, Article 21 and freedom guaranteed in Part. Justice K.S. Puttaswamy, retired, and others versus Union of India is a landmark judgment of the Supreme Court of India, which holds that the right to privacy is protected as a fundamental right under Article 21 of Constitution of India. Under which of the following articles of the Constitution of India has the Supreme Court of India placed the right to privacy? Option D, Article 21. In Justice Case Puttaswamy retired, another versus Union of India and others case, the nine-judge Constitution Bench of the Supreme Court is a landmark judgment on 24 August 2017 unanimously ruled that privacy is a fundamental right and that the right to privacy is protected as an intrinsic part of the right to life and personal liberty, Article 21, as a part of freedoms guaranteed by Part 3 of the Constitution. Right to privacy is protected under which article of the Constitution of India? Option C. Which article of the Constitution's India safeguards one's right to marry the person of one's choice? Article B. Article 21, option B. In Lata Singh versus State of UP 2006, the Supreme Court viewed that the right to marry as a component of the right to life under Article 21 of Indian Constitution. In Hadia marriage case, Supreme Court also said the right to convert and choose a partner is implicit under Article 21 of the Constitution. Which one of the following does not fall within the purview of Article 21 of the Constitution? Capital punishment. Option D. Article 21 of Indian Constitution provides that no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to the procedure established by law. Honorable Supreme Court of India has widened the scope and orbit of right to life and personal liberty on various occasions. According to question given here, option D is incorrect. As from the decision of Bachan Singh versus State of Punjab case, it is now clear that the provision of capital punishment as given in section 302 of IPC is not violative of Article 21 of the Constitution because it is given only for serious crimes. So, capital punishment does not come under the provision of Article 21 of the Constitution. All the other rights given an option come under the right to life and personal liberty as it has been declared by the Supreme Court through following decisions as A. Medical aid to the injured by doctor in Parmanand Katara versus Union of India 1989. Sexual harassment of women at workplace in Vishakha guidelines versus State of Rajasthan 1997. Pollution of the quality of air in Subhash Kumar versus State of Bihar 1991. Which one of the following rights cannot be suspended or restricted even during national emergency? Option B, right to life and personal liberty cannot be suspended. After the 44th Constitutional Amendment Act 1978, fundamental rights to life and personal liberty, Article 21, cannot be suspended even during a national emergency. If the national emergency is declared on the ground of war or external aggression, the fundamental rights under Article 19 are automatically suspended. The scope of the Article 21 of the Constitution was expanded to include right to education because of the decision of the Supreme Court in the case of Unni Krishnan versus Andhra Pradesh. The Supreme Court in the case of Unni Krishnan and others versus State of Andhra Pradesh and others 1993 organized in the form of a right free education for children up to the age of 14 years, the court held that the citizens of the country have the fundamental right to education. This right comes out of Article 21. However, the right is not absolute. The content and measures of the right must be determined in light of Article 41 and 45. Right to education to all children between age group of 6 to 14 years is a fundamental right under Article 21A. The Constitution 86th Amendment Act 2002 inserted Article 21A in the Constitution of India to provide free and compulsory education to all children in the age group of 6 to 14 years as a fundamental right in such a manner as the state may by law determine. The right of freedom to the right of children to free and compulsory education Act 2009 represent the legislation envisaged under Article 21A. The RTE, Right to Education Act, came into effect from 1 April 2010. When was the right to education added through the amendment in the Constitution of India? Option A, 1 April 2010. Which one of the following is a human right as well as a fundamental right under the Constitution of India? Option C, right to education. The state shall provide free and compulsory education to all children of the age group of 6 to 14 years. In a democratic society, right to education is indispensable in the interpretation of the right to development as a human right. Option A is correct. According to Article 21 of the Indian Constitution, the state shall provide free and compulsory education to all children between the age of 6 and 14 years. Education is a fundamental human right and is indispensable in the interpretation of the right to development as a human right, as it promotes individual freedom and empowerment of children. Which of the following are envisaged by the right against exploitation in the Constitution of India? Abolition of untouchability, it is under right to equality. So option 1 is incorrect. Prohibition of human trafficking and forced labor, prohibition of employment of children in factories and mines, protection of interest of minorities. So option 2 and 3 are correct. Part 3, fundamental rights of the Indian Constitution mentions the right against exploitation under Article 23 and 24. Article 23 prohibits traffic in human beings and begar and other similar forms of forced labor. The Article 24 prohibits the employment of children below the age of 14 years in any factory or mine or any other hazardous employment. Abolition of untouchability under Article 17 is under the right to equality. Protection of interest of minorities is mentioned in Article 29 as a cultural and educational right under the Constitution, which provision of fundamental rights is directly related to the exploitation of children. Option D. Article 24 of the Constitution is related to right against exploitation of the children. This article prohibits the employment of children under the age of 14 years in any factory, mines, or engagement in any other hazardous employment. Article 24 of the Constitution of India prohibits the employment of child in factory related to hazardous work. Such prohibition is absolute prohibition. As per Article 24, no child below the age of 14 years shall be employed to work in any factory or mine or engaged in any other hazardous employment. Such a prohibition is an absolute prohibition. Which of the following is not a part of Article 20 of the Constitution of India? Option C. Prohibition against torture. Prohibition against torture is not a part of Article 20 of the Constitution of India. Protection from torture is a fundamental right enshrined under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. Article 20 of Indian Constitution provides protection and respect of conviction for offences. No person shall be convicted of any offence except for violation of the law in force at the time of commission of the act charged as an offence, nor be subjected to a penalty greater than that which might have been inflicted under the law in force at the time of commission of the offence. No person shall be prosecuted and punished for the same offence more than once. No person accused of any offence shall be compelled to be a witness against himself.